Batwing number 12, written by Judd Winnick, art by Marcus Toe. Last issue we left off with Penguin selling a nuke to Lord Battle, Lord Battle knocking out Matu, and Batwing coming in for a fight. And then this issue picks up some indeterminate amount of time later, where Batwing is working with Nightwing and the entire Justice League International to fight off Lord Battle's crew. And it ain't going well. It's honestly not. So, flashback, we see Batwing laying out the plan. He says, like, all right, so Lord Battle killed Matu's whole family and then planned to take him hostage so that he can get leverage or something like that. But regardless of all of that, none of it's important because he has a nuke. And that's kind of the biggest deal. And Booster immediately pipes up like, hey, you know, we aren't exactly sanctioned by the UN in our own book. Should we really be starting this sort of international incident? And Batwing goes, yeah. So they're all in, I suppose. And so they make their way towards the nation of Tundi. Batman is back at home, and their entire goal is that they need to figure out where this nuclear bomb is. So they are going in to scramble the satellite shielding technology or something like that so that they can get some actual like view on the ground there. So they go about starting that, and August General makes some conversation with Batwing like, hey, that guy who was captured, doesn't he work with Batman Incorporated? Like, isn't he your friend? And Batwing goes like, yeah, but he's not the priority right now. So we cut over to Matu, and he's just waking up from a coma because he was shot by Lord Battle last issue. And Lord Battle basically tells him, like, yeah, I'm going to use you as leverage, and blah, 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 a whole bunch of evil villain speak. We're wrapping it up with him telling him, like, look, I am one with this land, and it is one with me. So everyone gets their scramblers up, and as soon as they, like, start it, they're immediately jumped by the three, like, generals that Lord Battle has, and they all have names. Neith, and the Fallen, and Striker. They honestly are completely unimportant to the story, but they exist. So anyway, battle starts breaking out, and they just have to wait long enough for them to get the info they need. And Batman points out, like, hey, there's an island or something. Like, there's something out in the jungle that has a massive structure, and it has no reason to be there, so clearly that must be where the nukes are. And Batwing's about to fly off to go deal with it, but then Lord Battle shows up. And in no time at all, somehow, everyone who is on different sides of this small country have made their way to battle Lord Battle. And apparently, according to Batwing, he's probably able to go 3 rounds with, like, Superman. Like, he is superhumanly powered. But regardless, they're all putting up a fight trying to take him down. So then Matu, he's all weak in his hospital bed, and he calls over to an orderly, and the orderly's like, what do you want, old man? And Matu just knocks him out, steals his cell phone, and calls Batwing. And he's like, hey, here's the deal. Because of stuff that the reader was not privy to, where before him taking over, like, the nation or whatever, he was just a normal man based off all records. It's reasonable to believe that the reason that he stays in the country and locks it down so hard is because his power is directly tied to the country. So if he's like taken out of the country, he'll lose his powers. And Batwing just immediately grabs him, lifts him up, and hauls him outside the borders of the country. And as soon as they do, he starts withering in strength, and all of, like, his generals and the forests and everything about the country all start withering as well. And Lord Battle's like, oh, please, you can't take me from my country, please. It's nothing without me, and I'm nothing without it. Please, I'll do anything. To which he's like, okay, we'll make a deal. So they allow him to be held as a prisoner within his own country. And if he ever does anything again, then they'll definitely lay the hammer down. But regardless, they were able to get the nuke from him. So then we see Matu. He's recovering, and he's talking with David, and they're just like, yeah, okay, well, I don't like the fact that he still technically has his powers, but at least we managed to survive that. And David's like, hey, your whole family died. Are you sure you're cool with that? And he's like, don't worry, you're my family, David. And the laugh track plays, and the music plays him out. But then we get one last page of the next villain, where it's some big ass guy and he's being told by an underling, like, hey, so the United Nations are seizing control of Tundi, and, you know, it's all going according to your plan, sir. And he's like, yes, it's moving faster than I anticipated, but no matter. None will stand in the way of King Shadow. Which, after Lord Battle, feels like there's like almost like a Power Rangers sort of theming here with names, where it's like, just we're just on a monarchy sort of thing. Oh yeah, you were the Lord. Well, here's the King, and the next step's going to be the Emperor, and it's just going to keep going. That being said, I did like this. I think it was fine. My only critique really is that the whole reveal that Lord Battle was tied to the land is something that the reader wasn't privy to. Like, we weren't told at any point that he was just a normal man before suddenly gaining this strength. Like, that was revealed to us as Matu revealed it to us. So I know this wasn't supposed to be like a mystery sort of story. It's a nuke. Like, clearly that's just action, and that's fine. I'm not really that angry about it. It's a good enough story, but that is my one real critique. Art wise, everything's fine. Marcus Toe does a fine job on everything. Not amazing, fantastic, but also certainly it gets like the feel of battle down right. I know where all the characters like sizes are to each other, so yeah, it's good. Overall, though, I would go ahead and give this one I'll give it a 6.5. It's good. It's overall just a good enough read, but it's not, anything super amazing. It just kind of, especially because it was just, 2-3 issues. After that whole long massacre arc, it kind of feels like, oh, okay, we just kind of needed an in-between space here. And especially pulling in the JLI out of nowhere. I know Batwing has been in their book, so it makes sense there's some crossover, but I don't know, it just felt a little bit weird that they were just like, hey, yeah, we're here now. Okay, bye.